The whole test is done on the computer. There are two components in the test: the listening test and the speaking test. Each component will have one practice question. Now, let's take a look at the test screen. The timer shows how much time you have left. When the time is almost up, it will change from black to red. You can click Next to go to the next page But when you go to the next page, you cannot use any remaining time for the next part. Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in the listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once. Left-click on the mouse to select your answer. Practice question. There is one practice question. Listen to a short conversation. The passage will be played once. Then listen to the question and choose the best answer. Unfortunately, I missed the concert last night.
Listening to problem solving. You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hi, how can I help you today?
I just rented a studio apartment and I'd like to paint the room.
Oh, your landlord will let you do that?
Excuse me?
When my brother moved into a rental apartment, he wanted to repaint the place too, but he had to get permission from his landlord first. The good thing was that the landlord paid for it. Usually they're responsible for maintenance and repairs.
Oh, I didn't know that. I guess I'd better ask first then.
Might be a good idea. Is there anything in the apartment that you want the paint to match? You could always bring in a chair, but a cushion would be easier.
Actually, I'd like the paint to match the curtains. My grandmother made them, so I don't want to replace them. Great suggestion, thanks.
Question 1.
Why does the woman go to the store?
Question 2.
Who is probably responsible for maintenance and repairs?
Question 3.
What will the woman likely bring if she returns? You're back! With curtains! Oh, I can see why you don't want to replace them.
Do you think we can match this shade of blue?
Yes, but are you sure you want to do that? If the walls are the same color, you won't really notice the curtains.
Oh, good point. So, How about that color?
The light green? I was thinking you might want white or beige.
Ugh, too much like my parents' house. No, actually, with the light green and blue, the room will look like the ocean, near where I used to live. I miss it a lot. How the bright sun made the water look different shades of blue.
Then the light green is a perfect choice. Now you'll also need a roller, a pan, some masking tape for around the windows, and a brush. You can get those today. Do you need a drop cloth?
What's that?
It's a big piece of cloth to cover the floor. Your landlord might have one though. He might also have a ladder, so let's wait until later for that as well.
Question 4.
What does the man think about the curtains?
Question 5.
What does the woman think about her parents' house?
Question 6.
What might the woman purchase next time?
Hi. My landlord says he does have a drop cloth, but he doesn't have a stepladder. Actually, he does, but it fell apart. So he told me to buy a new one and he'll pay for it. He says he has an account here. Anthony Dillon?
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yes, he does have an account, and it's all paid up. Good. I'll have one of our standard 6-foot stepladders delivered tomorrow, so you're all set.
Great! He's happy that I'm going to paint the room. He even said he'd come help if it's too difficult to do on my own.
I think he should, since technically you're doing his job for him.
Question 7.
Why does her landlord want to buy a new ladder?
Question 8.
How does the interaction end?
Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey, Alea, how's your morning going?
Not bad. I'm just finishing up this monthly report. There's so much information to gather.
Well, a bunch of us from our department are going out for lunch today. Why don't you take a break and come with us? It'll do you good to get out of the office for a bit.
Oh, thank you. That sounds wonderful. Where are we going?
Do you like Italian food? There's a really great place, Mario's, a couple blocks from here. They have the best pasta in town, and their garlic bread is amazing.
I've never been to an Italian restaurant. I don't eat out very often. The customs and food here are quite different from my home country. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love trying new things.
I hope you like it. Our team eats there at least once a month. There's also a great sushi place nearby that we go to all the time. You'll have to come with us next time.
It's so interesting that you go to a restaurant so often. The boss is so kind. My former boss never invited us out for meals.
Just so you know, everybody pays for their own meal. The company would go bankrupt if they paid for all of our lunches all the time.
Sorry, I didn't know. I thought when you invited me that it was paid for. In my home country, the boss pays, or the person who invites pays. I'm a little embarrassed now.
Don't worry about it. In Canada, it's pretty casual. We always pay for ourselves unless someone specifically says they'll treat you. And that doesn't happen very often. Maybe on your birthday, but that's about it.
I'm so glad you told me. I would have felt really bad if I had eaten and then not paid. It's very different. but I will get used to it.
Question 1.
Where are the man and the woman?
Question 2.
Why is the woman invited out to lunch?
Question 3.
What is the woman's opinion of Italian food?
Question 4.
Why does the woman think the boss will pay for lunch?
Question 5.
What is the woman's decision about going for lunch? Listening for information. You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hi, Harry. Thanks for coming by. You've done great work for us before, and now we have a few more jobs we'd like you to do. Painting a wall, replacing floor tiles, and changing cupboard handles. What do you think?
Sounds good. Let's start with the tiles. Where are they going?
In the kitchen. We got a really good deal on these peel and stick ones. I love the color. Do you think these will work on the kitchen floor?
They're good quality and durable, so you made a good choice. What does the floor surface look like? Can I see it?
Sure, follow me. See, there's some old ripped flooring here. I was hoping you could just put the tiles on top of the old floor here and match them with the rest of the floor.
That's going to be a problem. I'll have to remove that old flooring or the new tiles won't join properly with the rest of the floor. The kitchen floor isn't that big. Why not replace the whole floor with these new tiles? Then it will look really professional. I think you bought enough tiles, but I'll measure later to check that out.
Oh, we didn't think about that. What a good idea.
Okay, so what do you want me to paint?
Just this one wall where I've filled the holes. I learned how to do that from my dad, who enjoyed repairing walls. Do you think it needs to be sanded before you paint? I'm concerned about the dust because I need to make dinner each night.
Yeah, it definitely needs sanding. My electric sander has a dust catcher, though. Have you already bought the paint?
Yes, we picked it up yesterday when we bought the handles. These are the new handles for the cupboard doors. They're so pretty that I just couldn't resist buying them. Will they fit with these doors okay?
Yeah, they'll go on just fine. Okay, this should take me 2, maybe 3 days. When would you like me to start?
Is tomorrow too soon? I'll be so glad to finally have this work done.
No problem. I'll just take those measurements and draw up an estimate. I'll give it to you in about 10 minutes.
Question 1.
Why is the man visiting the woman?
Question 2.
What is the woman's plan?
Question 3.
What did the woman do by herself?
Question 4.
Why does the man suggest putting new tiles on the whole kitchen floor?
Question 5.
What is the woman worried about?
Question 6.
When will the man be finished?
Listening to a news item. You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
Over the past few weeks, storms near Fredericton have damaged many homes and other structures. One resident, Jilla Amini, had recently installed a large children's slide in her garden so that her son and daughter could play outside. Jilla woke up Tuesday morning to discover that the rain and mud had carried her slide down her hilly backyard and into the neighborhood park. After talking to the town council, Jilla discovered that the council was already planning on buying a new slide for the park. The council suggested that Jilla leave her slide in the park, and they offered to replace Jilla's slide at the council's expense. Jilla agreed. 3 nights later, another thunderstorm knocked down an old oak tree in the same park. The tree fell directly on the slide, crushing it beyond repair. The townspeople have decided to make the best of the situation. Led by local artist and woodcarver Eddie Galen, a team has started a project to build a new children's climbing structure in the park using wood from the fallen oak tree. When the project is completed, these terrible storms will have benefited everyone.
Listening to a discussion. You will watch a 2-minute video, then 8 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
You will watch a discussion among 3 colleagues. There are 2 women and 1 man. They are at a break room at their workplace. This is Alice. This is Richard. This is Tia.
Let's enjoy our coffee break as long as we can. These new changes at work are giving me a headache.
Why are they making the changes?
Management said that business has grown so much in the last year that they had to hire a lot of new staff. I guess we can't move, so they're making major changes to this old space to accommodate more staff.
The new plan, called office hoteling, isn't unique to us. As a matter of fact, it's been proven to work extremely well. If you think of our office like a hotel, the idea might become clearer. We reserve a desk before we come to work, and then we check in when we arrive.
That's an interesting comparison, but I don't see how these tiny work cubicles compare to a spacious, comfortable hotel room.
Well, the idea is that many of us aren't in the office every day. Therefore, there are temporary space assignments, like people using a hotel. Those working 9 to 5 in the office every day still keep their desk like before. I think it'll be fine. We just need to get used to it.
I have heard that very few people have private offices now. Instead, we will need to book a small seminar room if you're meeting with a client. This will require considerable advanced planning.
So what do you do if a client drops by to consult with you and there's no seminar rooms available? It'll take considerable time to adjust our work habits to those kinds of changes.
Well, the other interesting change is that once you check in for a desk, you sign up for a laptop for the rest of the day. We can now access our email on any laptop.
What I don't like is that these shared desks are basically just bare cubicles. You can't personalize the space or store your own work files. And what about telephones? I don't see telephones at each desk.
I don't understand how this new phone system works, although I know we can't have a phone at our desk anymore. It's considered too disruptive to others. But what I will miss most is being together with our team and learning from each other.
Yeah, well, there certainly will be a lot of changes. Maybe having coffee like this together when the 3 of us are in the office is a good idea. Maybe we should invite some of our other team members to join us so they can cope too.
That's a great idea. Let's do that.
We'll do team texting to set up meetings.
Listening for viewpoints. You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
As many opinion polls over the years have shown, when asked what makes Canada special, the Canadian healthcare system is often the most cited reason. For over 50 years, Canada has relied on a system of healthcare that is government-run and free to all Canadians. Private, for-profit healthcare is only allowed in very few circumstances. When it comes to healthcare, money will not buy better doctors or a better hospital. Everyone uses the same services. Canada's healthcare system is generous, effective, and most believe equitable. However, the system is not without its critics. The cost to the government is, of course, huge, and this cost is funded by the Canadian people in the form of taxes. While few have argued against the health system itself, arguments against the tax rates required to support the system are not uncommon. The main criticism of the system, however, is not its cost, but its exclusivity. In almost all cases, the only healthcare services available are government services. Why can't individuals that can afford to pay for health services go to private clinics? If this were allowed, not only would they get faster, more efficient service, but they would remove themselves from the government system. Everybody would benefit from shorter wait times. Canada is one of the few industrialized countries to effectively ban private medical treatment. Most countries in Europe and Asia support mixed systems, where individuals can choose between public and private options. Many in Canada are opposed to a mixed system in which more wealthy citizens receive different and perhaps better health care. The fear is that once the wealthy leave the public system, they will be even less motivated to pay the taxes required to maintain the public health care system. Moreover, there is a moral issue at stake. Is it right that some people in society receive better health care than others? Those who support a mixed system also say they see a moral issue. In a free country such as Canada, people should have the right to choose where they go for their health care. Compromise solutions have also been suggested. Perhaps private practices could be allowed for screening, but not for treatment. People could have private medical tests, x-rays, or ultrasounds, but they would have to get treatment in the public system. The debate will continue for years to come. However, there is little evidence that the health system will change in the near future. Canadians are proud of their health system, and change to that system is likely to be slow in coming.